Well, good morning, everybody. Janelle and Keith, Michelle, Anthony. It is Monday morning. Chris Walsh, how are you? It is Monday, January 7th. Does it feel like to you guys that this year is already starting to fly by? Unbelievable. I was booking stuff for this month and I'm like, I'm booked. And it's only the 7th. It's crazy. Natalie, how are you? And Michelle and Tiffany and Scott and Lindsay and Mabel. Well, Scott, I love Monday mornings too because it is the beginning of all possibilities. So today, I want to talk about chapter 2 in my book, and why I'm really going back and reading my own book is that I'm speaking for a huge auto group in February in Atlanta, and they just ordered 1,500 copies. So we even had to go to the printer to be able to buy more copies. So I'm going back through our book, and I'm like, this stuff is really rich. But chapter 2 of Crushing Mediocrity is, of course, chapter 1. It's all about finding your purpose, and we have talked about that on this show. What is your underlying purpose? Why do you do what you do? What would you do if you didn't get famous or you didn't get paid? If you weren't recognized for it, would you still do what you do? So for those of you just tuning in, it's Lisa Copeland, 15 Minutes of Fierce, Dina and Anthony and Michelle and Janelle and Trendy and Craig. Good morning. It is Monday. I haven't even had my coffee. I had kind of a rough weekend. I've just had this cold. I've not been able to shake. And I know Chris has been sick. I know Craig's had some stuff going on, and it's just one of those things. It's January. We're going to get sick. Anyway, so I'm talking about chapter 2 of mine and Renee's book, Crushing Mediocrity. I'm going back through it, and I'm working up the PowerPoints and stuff because I got hired by an auto group out of Atlanta in February to come kick off for their 14 stores, and they just ordered 1,500 books. Yay, love them. Go Ellis Auto Group. Anyways, but chapter 2 of our book is, and when Renee and I wrote it, we wrote it in an order that we thought people could follow it, right? And so number 1 is you have to define your underlying purpose. Why do you do what you do? Why do you get up in the morning? I can tell you purpose took me through some of my darkest days, right? And so, but number 2 is that, chapter 2 is you've got to be willing to exit your comfort zone. Okay, nothing out there that any of us want, Shannon or Frank or Lindsay or Renee, not anything that we want out there is not going to be easy. It's not. That is going to require us to step out in faith many, many times. You want that promotion. You want to start that company. You want to go do something that is bigger than you. It isn't going to happen just you're going to step out and go, wow, this is so easy. I think about when I sold the dealership and I stepped out of my, at that time, very high profile position, thinking, well, what if the Zaza Zoo never happens again? Well, it more than happened when I left because I was able to meet more people, experience new things, work with new companies, do all of the things. But, it all took a leap of faith. Well, I just saw my hat was weird. It all took a leap of faith, exiting my comfort zone. Because you see, everybody out there, you guys are big sellers, you guys and gals. Every one of you get up in the morning, you tune into shows, you watch people. In fact, some of you even have your own shows. Michelle, good morning. Sandy, good morning. Tabby. And some of you even have your own shows. But you watch other people, you're looking for inspiration. And I don't even know that a lot of you are looking for inspiration. You're looking for information. What is the one thing that you might hear today that will inspire you, that will push you out of your comfort zone? And that's what I want to tell you today. Today is the day I'm going to encourage you. It's a Monday. Scott Simons loves Mondays. I love Mondays. Good morning, Greg. I love Mondays too. But what are you going to do today to get out of that comfort zone? See, it's super easy to keep doing what you're doing. It's super easy. This is January. This is the month we're going to raise our goals. This is the month that we're going to do more. This is the month that we're going to invest in ourselves. These are, we're going to lose weight. We're going to spend more time with family. All those New Year's resolutions. Please tell me they haven't gone out the door on January 7th. I know for some people they have, but I know for me they haven't, And, but exiting your comfort zone, it's such a hard thing to do, but it absolutely is necessary and it is critical to be able to crush mediocrity, to be able to be unapologetically fierce, to be able to go out there and do what you want to do to obtain your goals in 2017. You're going to have to put your toe into that comfort, exiting that comfort zone. You're going to, that circle that we draw around ourselves, it's either with the people we know, it's with the job we do, it's with the goals we set, it's with the expectations we have. We go, you know what? I'm good. I'm making enough money. I'm good enough. I have enough friends. I'm good enough. But for those of you that are ambitious, that get up every single morning and you watch this show, hi, Crystal, how are you? Max, good morning. Baron, good morning. Tom, good morning. For those of you who get up and you are unapologetically fierce, I'm going to challenge you today. You really can't be fierce without exiting your comfort zone. You can't. And there was a quote we had in here that I loved. You cannot crush mediocrity without taking risks. So put it out there. What risk are you willing to take to get to your end goal? What is it? What are you going to do that others are not willing to do? My good friend, Sean Thomas, he says, most won't, I will. But isn't that true about successful people? Most are not willing to do what the successful ones are willing to do, including get up in the morning and tune into this show, participate. I love, so many of you have done such a good job on taking that one word. When I challenged you, what is that one word for 2019? What is that one thing, that one word that is going to guide you? And so many of you have done it. And then I said, okay, now take it one step further and turn it into an acronym. Because I want those words, I want that word to unequivocally guide you. And someone says, hey, Megan, hey, Bill, hey, Renee, hey, Trendy, hey, Nigel, what are you about? And then, I believe, I learn, oh my gosh, there were so many of them. And for those of you who are not in Big Sellers, go into Big Sellers, join the group, join our Big Sellers Mastermind. People have been making their memes. Some are fancier than others. Some of you are really good at Canva, I can tell. Some of you have graphic designers. Some of you just wrote your words out. And you know what? It's all the same. It is all the same. And I'm so proud of so many of you. Adam, how are you? Good morning. For Fierce, for example, when I did Fierce, and I did it for 100,000 different reasons. I spent 2 years on speaking on crushing mediocrity, which looks like I'm back on the Crushing It tour again this year. But, I wanted something that was different. I wanted something that I could stand up and say, these are my 6 non-negotiables of success. I wanted something from a marketing standpoint that it sounded good. It sounded enticing. When somebody thought about Fierce 365 or Unapologetically Fierce, they said, oh yeah, that's Lisa Copeland. What is that word? What is that will brand you? Fierce, to fear less. I for imagination. E for is enthusiastic. R is to be relentless. C is to crush approval addiction. E is to execute 365 days a year, because success never sleeps. And I put unapologetically in there because there are times in life and in my career, people have tried to make me feel bad for being as ambitious as I am. You know what, Lisa, why don't you just put your head down and just do your job? Why do you think we need to be number one? As long as we're profitable, we're good. I can just go on and on through my whole career, and so I'm like, no, I'm going to be fierce and I'm going to be unapologetic about it, because that is my DNA. That is how I am wired. I'm wired to win. I'm wired to win. I'm wired to go out there and to compete. That's what I like to do. I don't run. I'm not a marathon runner like some people, so they like to compete on that level. I like to compete in business. I like to win. I like to be the best I can be at everything that I do. So I am unapologetically fierce. But do you guys see how that rolls off my tongue? So when I go and I speak or I do things on television, people will say, well, fierce, where does that come from? And I say, it's my 6 non-negotiables to success. You have to be unapologetically fierce 365 days a year to be unapologetically fierce, period. And success never sleeps. Those are my 6 non-negotiables of success. And I give you that, and I've given it to you many, many times, but I give you that, excuse me, I give you that because I want you to come up with that same mantra for you. And I want you to continue sharing it in the group. Adam, wired to win. That's right. Greg, changing it up and doing new things in the new year. Okay, but how are you going to change it up, Greg? And then are you going to be consistent? I was really, the C in fierce, it was originally consistency. But, I thought, that's overdone. And crushing approval addiction really goes alongside of my unapologetic. Because when you're out there and you're running for the top and you're at the top of your game and you want to be number one no matter what you do, whether you're in automotive or real estate or financial services or whatever it may be, there are going to be people that are going to talk about you. Grant Cardone says haters are going to hate. Haters are his fuel. And all of that. And I agree with that. So you have got to learn to crush that approval addiction within you. Because if you worry about what other people think about what you're doing or why you're doing it or what your motives are, then you're never ever going to hit Everest. You're never ever going to hit the pinnacle of your career. If you know what you're doing is right, if you know what you're doing matters to you, to your industry, to your team, whatever that looks like, then you can't let the naysayers take you down. And they're out there. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. So the C in fierce, if there were two C's, one would be consistency and one would be crushing approval addiction. But when I'm out and I'm speaking and I'm teaching, I want to really get that point across about crushing approval addiction. E was also, the E in fierce, I really thought about using exiting your comfort zone, like what we did in the book. But I'm like, you know what? There are so many people out there that they just can't motivate me to get off a bench. They can't. I mean, I think they're smart. I think they've got a great product, but they're like, womp, 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 when they talk. And I'm like, no, enthusiasm. Like, you've got to believe what you do. How do you sell something if you don't believe, if you can't bring people in? Think about the greatest preachers in the world, the Joel Osteens, the Billy Grahams. I mean, there's something to the hellfire, of getting on that stage and just rallying people and getting people going where you don't have to be on a stage to do that. Imagine you're in a sales meeting. Imagine you're in a sales presentation. Imagine you're talking to just one customer. And they can feel that enthusiasm. They can feel that fire that you have for your product or your service. They're going to do business with you. So I chose E for enthusiasm because enthusiasm is contagious. It is contagious. And exiting your comfort zone is probably not so contagious. And so I'm giving you these ideas as you build your word. And I wanted to tell you too, like, I had other words when I started with fierce. Fierce wasn't always what it was going to be. F was always going to be a fearless. Always. Fear's my thing. I mean, I know you guys know I had a license plate for 2 years that said fear not. But again, E was going to be exiting my comfort zone. Instead, it's enthusiasm. C was going to be for consistency. Again, it's crushing approval addiction. Go out there with something really big and audacious. Amy, so true. Believe in you and your service. Michelle, you're right. You have to drink your own Kool-Aid and then they Kool-Aid of your own brand. You do. Because frankly, Michelle and everybody else out there, if you don't drink it, why would anybody else? Doctors out there, I had a doctor one time and I had this weird skin irritation. And he goes, you need to use this. And I said, well, would you use this? He's like, no, I'm really more along the homeopathic thing. And I was like, well, why do you want me to use it? Why would you not tell me the other piece? And it's just like, so why would I do something why would I buy something that the owner's not enthusiastic about? When I get a sales presentation, I get them all the time. And they're not like, Lisa, the reason I got involved with this company, the reason I do what I do, the reason I called you is because this product or service changed my life and I think it can change your life too. You're at least going to get a phone call with me because I'm like, change their life. I mean, kind of like reading those ads in magazines where you see the before and after pictures. They're probably fake, but you're like, I'm going to check out the website, right? So let's see what Michelle, you're back. If you do not believe in what you're selling with absolute conviction, no one else will. Be passionate. Absolutely. And I believe that everybody should be up at 6:45 in the morning on 15 Minutes of Fierce with Lisa Copeland. If you got value in this show today, I'm going to ask you to share it out, put it into your sales groups, tell a friend, encourage your people. Encourage people to come up with that one word that defines you both personally and professionally. Turn it into an acronym and make it your battle cry in 2019. If you're not a member of Big Sellers Mastermind Group, what are you waiting for? our group is excellent. I don't allow spamming. It is not a bunch of reposts. I don't let that go on either. I want original content. I spend a lot of time in there. We're going to start doing masterclass sales classes in there in 2019. So become a member of Big Sellers Mastermind Group. Lindsay, good morning. Baron, you have to believe and drink your own Kool-Aid. Yep. All right, guys and gals, it's 7 o'clock. I'm a respecter of time. So I will see you tomorrow morning at 6:45. Sharing is caring. I know Anthony writes that all the time and I love it. Sharing is caring. Bye-bye, y'all.